just love this, don't you?
Yes, I do. Are you going to talk
Abbott.
or anything?
Costello.
Yeah. What is up, guys? You're on the Gene Pool Variety Hour.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 24.
Yep, 24.
So, this is what we do. We just kind of hang out and talk a bunch of nerdy stuff.
Oh, but Dad, who are we?
Huh?
Who are we for our new viewers?
Oh, we have no viewers right now, much less new viewers. So
For when we post this, then just
okay.
we gotta
So
do the bit.
if you haven't seen us before, we're a father and son podcast. We are the nerds in the family. Everybody else are muggles, and they don't really get into this stuff, but we do. And we're both ADHD as the day is long,
You're
and
forgetting
so
our classic bit.
huh?
That hey guys, I'm Sean, the yada yada yada.
Oh well, whatever.
that
So
classic
okay,
bit. Come on.
I'm Sean. I'm the old guy of the podcast, and
I'm Connor, the young dancer and funny guy of the group.
so like I said, we review a bunch of random movies. We talk about games sometimes. Sometimes we play games in here. We usually have like a geek question and just talk about whatever kind of geek stuff comes to mind that grabs our attention. So that's kind of what we're doing. This is episode 24,
flow, y'all. It's free flow, free love, world peace, man. Yeah.
No, it's more ADHD, completely unorganized. That's what it is.
Still free flow and peace and on earth, man.
Okay. Anyway, so we're just here to just kind of hang out. We've been doing this for a while. This is is this the third time we've streamed the podcast?
I want to say fourth, actually.
Well, the first one didn't count because we didn't save it, because it didn't save. Remember, we forgot to save it. So, anyway,
fourth time we streamed. Third time it's going to be recorded and published out on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Anyway,
look, before we get started, you guys, if you're ever on here, you can see that our tagline is, we're the Gene Pool Variety Hour, but our tagline is your geek safe space, because we make a point to make this an escape from the world that we're living in right now.
A haven.
So I saw a post from somebody the other day. It was like a bingo card, but it was like, okay, what's coming in June? And it was like a bingo card, and then the center one was like Godzilla. It was like ninja attacking sharks. It was just really kind of all these bizarre things because this year has just been horrible.
Ninjas attacking sharks?
Shark
or
ninjas, basically. Shark ninjas or something like that. Anyway.
That's a movie.
So,
No.
Sharknado.
No.
So, anyway,
Sharknado Kaiju Edition.
the world has been crazy. It continues to be crazy. It's just kind of going up in flames. And so,
literally,
we're not trying to make light of any of that. We know the seriousness of it. A lot of podcasts have taken specific episodes to address those issues, the racial issues, the political issues, everything that's going on. We've decided
the virus issues and all that.
Huh?
The virus issues and all that.
Well, just everything, even, Steven and those guys, they have Staring at Goats now, which is basically about living in the coronavirus world that we live in now, and everything that's going along with that. But we've always made a point to try to be a place where you can just go as an escape, because that's kind of what we like to do. So that's what we're doing.
Where you can laugh,
again, us not talking about those things is
not. You can smile and just forget about life for a couple minutes at least, right?
Right. Can I finish what I was saying, or are you
Yes.
just going to keep interrupting me? I'm just curious.
That is my shtick. Let's be honest.
So I was trying to be serious, but he keeps interrupting, and just say that this is what we're trying to do to be an escape for folks. If you just need an hour to get away and not think about anything, we're your people, because we're so scatterbrained. We're going to talk about all kinds of weird things. I mean, we have Chase the Chicken because we chase chickens.
Yeah.
So anyway,
We need to get him some
that
sunglasses.
being said, we usually start out with just kind of what's been going on in our lives lately, and whether it be just normal life stuff or it's geeky stuff, games or whatever. So, what's been going on with you lately?
Let's see. I've been just basically being me. I've been packing up stuff.
What does that mean?
They know if they've seen me before. Me being me is it's quite a wild tale.
It's an experience, man. It's an experience.
It's totally an experience. It's a far out trip, man. Yeah.
Like he even knows what that's all about.
You're right. I don't know what that's about.
You were born in 1996. You were born almost 30 years after the 70s groovy man stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Whatever.
Yes, but I'm an old soul.
Okay. Anyway,
so I've basically been playing the same stuff. I have gotten back into Overwatch as of recently. I kind of played it when it first came out with my dad, and he loved it when it first came out. So much so he's played it basically
drunk watch
every single Friday night for the past 2 years at least.
Yeah.
I mean he's played it a lot. So much so he's got what 2 stars or 3 stars?
Not many actually. For as long as we played it, I've only like level 213. I think I have 2 stars.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But we only
I'm 17.
But we
no
only
stars.
We only play on Friday nights for a couple hours on Friday nights, so it's not like we played multiple times a week. So anyway,
yeah. So yeah. I've gotten back into that, and actually I've posted a couple of clips I made for my highlights and play of the games onto my TikTok, which is also QuillMiester. If you guys want to check those out.
Promotion, man.
Little self plug right there. And then also I've posted those same clips on my Twitter. So boom, second plug.
Okay.
Multi-outlet man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look. I hand it to you. You got for a non-influencer celebrity person, you got over 1,000 followers on TikTok. So
yeah.
I can't say anything.
Yeah.
I don't do TikTok. But anyway,
he doesn't get it.
I don't want to. I have enough social media. So anti-social media is really what it should be called.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, I've also been packing for my upcoming move to be with my lovely fiance Nikki. Love you, girl. Love you so much. Guys,
hey, Nikki.
I have to. I have to do that. It's
I think it's in their relationship bylaws. So anyway,
it kind of is. Not gonna lie, it kind of is. Oh man. And anyway, so let's see. New stuff I've been playing. I recently got Star Wars Fallen Order.
Cool.
I got this awesome deal on the deluxe edition, and so I've been playing the crap out of that for the past 2 or 3 days, and it's awesome. I mean, at first I thought it was going to be some kind of free world, open world, kind of do your own thing kind of adventure game, but really it's got a clear-cut storyline that I am just diving full head in. And the thing that I love most about it is that now the Star Wars franchise has 2 characters that have both played Joker, are now also part of this big franchise. Mark Hamill.
Oh, you've been animated. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm sitting there going, okay, Joaquin Phoenix hasn't been in any of the Star Wars movies, and Jack Nicholson hasn't been in. So I'm just thinking the live action movies. I'm not thinking the animated stuff.
But
so anyway,
but then
I was a little confused there for a second.
But then the guy who the guy who plays Cal Kestis, I think that's his name, is also the guy who plays Jerome / Joker on Gotham. Same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 2 Jokers, both in the Star Wars universe now. I find that weird.
I got it. Understood.
You got it?
All there. Yeah. I think I got it.
100%?
So what you're saying is there's 2 people that have played Joker that are also in Star Wars now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just making sure that's what you were saying since you said it 7 times, I think.
And fun fact Mark Hamill has also played two villains inside the DC universe, the Joker and then the Trickster in CW's Flash, which is interesting because they're both crazy toy obsessed supervillains.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
it's like when they offered the role to. Yes, play that chicken. It's like when they offered the role to Mark Hamill, they basically said, play the Joker without the makeup. And he was like, okay, I'm all there. And now I'm done.
You done with that chicken? Please
Yes.
tell me you're done with that chicken. Okay, you're done with that chicken.
I'm that chicken.
I'm that chicken. Wow. Okay. I kind of lost track of what I was going to even say. I had something I was going to say, and I don't even know what it is anymore.
That's my biggest talent.
Okay.
Making you forget while you even live.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
No, seriously, I'm trying to think what was... Oh, I know what I was going to say. First of all, take a look at the nice little sheen on the bald head over here. If we start to glow, we're not pregnant. It's hot in here. Because this
is basically a box of blankets.
A soundproof
blanket box. Blue blanket box.
Foam brick fake wall back there for soundproofing in my garage in Georgia in June. It's warm. So sorry
Blue
about it.
Blanket blocks,
we could be
block.
cool. We could be cool,
Blocks,
and then
block.
you could hear is the air conditioning
tongue
blowing
twister.
in here if we did that, or we can just be hot.
That's a real tongue twister.
What?
Blue blanket blocks box.
Okay. Anyway,
I mean, it is. Try.
Okay,
Try
so-
saying it. No, come
no,
on.
you did it. I'm not going to
Come
do
on.
that.
Fine.
So
Party pooper.
As far as what I've been doing lately, I was so excited because some of you guys may know that I work for the military and I work on base. It's about 50 miles from here. We had some travel restrictions with the coronavirus stuff, and so they was kind of encouraged to stay home because I live kind of far away. They opened up those restrictions, increase the distance. So last week I was going to start going back to base and being on base and being in the squadron every day, and I was really excited to kind of get back there and be with the guys. I was there for 2 hours and sent home because one of my other sons...
They just didn't want you back, did they?
They just couldn't stand the sight of me. I
can barely stand the sight of you.
And you want help moving?
The joke was right there, Dad.
I know it was.
It was
actually,
right there.
Actually, it was. It was right there. It's wide open. So, but one of my other sons is working. He's home from college for
hero.
the summer, and he's got his CNA, and he's working at a nursing home that he worked at some in the fall. And unfortunately, there's a lot of coronavirus there, and so he's having to be around and taking care of these people in this nursing home. And when the PA and the commander found out about that, they went, yeah, go home. Just keep teleworking. Yeah. You're fine. Just telework and go home. So I got to be on base for 2 hours and then had to come home. So I'm back to teleworking, which is actually going okay. But I don't mind doing it. I just wish I was there with the guys more because I think they would talk to me more if I was there. Anyway, so there's that. Otherwise, Xboxing. Destiny 2, and now the current season of Destiny 2 is ending. I think as of today, I think the new season starts tomorrow or the next Tuesday. Huh?
Season?
Yeah, they do seasons. So it's been the season of the worthy, which I haven't been a fan of because usually they have different tasks to do in each season, and the task this year was just kind of, this season I didn't really like, but they changed the rules so that you know what Pinnacle gear is in Destiny 2.
No, Dad, I don't.
So
I don't play Destiny.
Do you know what light level is in Destiny?
I barely know what that is.
Okay,
yes.
light level is like your max power, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so whatever gear you get is usually at your power level that you're at. You can earn pinnacle gear, which is a point or two higher, and that's how you slowly work your light level up to get stronger.
I hate games like that. You
and
know?
It used to be that the only way
who has the better gear. I hate that. Sorry.
So anyway,
sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
Need to practice the not interrupting.
I'm sorry.
So this season they changed the rule. It used to be that the only way you got pinnacle gear was to do raids and that kind of stuff. And I just don't get a chance to play with a group of people that I know big enough to do a raid. And the one time we tried it, it failed miserably. I mean, when you take the Drunk Watch crew to Destiny and try to do a raid, it didn't turn out well. So, but now they changed the rules that if
let me guess, you guys, it didn't even last 5 minutes.
Oh, we did. We lasted 2 hours, but didn't get past the first jumping puzzle after 2 hours. So, anyway, now if you run through your weekly strikes, your weekly Crucible playlist, your weekly Gambit playlist, you get pinnacle gear. So I've been doing that, not really trying to do the season stuff. So that's ended. I've gotten back into leveling up Moe's in Borderlands 3. And
oh yeah, Moe's.
Man, I got to tell you,
her skill is the coolest, but her dialogue is the most boring.
Yeah, her dialogue is super boring, but she's a military person, so she's kind of boring. I mean, it's just kind of her stick. She's a military person, you know? So she talks basically like just a flat soldier to the point. But her mech skill, I always wanted to play her when we started because it was a lot like Diva from Overwatch, who I used to main when I first started Overwatch. But as I was reading more about it, I'm like, she's really more good for co-op, her skills, than playing solo. So I said, okay, I want to play Zane first because you can double up on his action skills. But I've leveled him up, and I said, okay, let's go ahead and get Moe started because we were going to do streaming together. And I've gotten up to she's about 35 now, level 35 now.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
And, man, that mech skill is so much fun because it lasts a long time, and of course you can increase her the time that it's active by increasing the fuel level. And I do the minigun and the missiles.
Yeah.
And I wish the minigun wouldn't heat up as fast as it does. I've got to work on getting some skills fixed for that. But the missiles, I now have them where it just shoots one missile at a time.
Yeah.
But it's a nuke. Each one is a nuke. So you're shooting this thing, and it just the entire screen lights up with this almost mushroom cloud. It's fun because you're just seeing body parts fly everywhere constantly. It's great. So I'm really enjoying her character, just not her dialogue. Zane's got the best dialogue.
He really does,
in my opinion, of all of them. And I've heard the other ones; they're okay. Flax is good. He's kind of subtle, you know. But I just think Zane's is the best. But so I've been doing.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. It's all about the accent. It's all about the accent. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, look, I laugh at Irish and Scottish accents anyway. They fill me with joy. I like them. But the things he says are funny too. So that's really what I've been doing. Those two things.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with Mexican accents. I love Mexican accents for some reason.
Hispanic,
Hispanic, yes. Okay. Yes, my bad.
Just
Latino.
Clarifying a little bit. Latina. There you go.
There you go. No. Well, Latinx.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the general neutral
I'm
term.
going to be honest. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the changes. I can't keep up with all the changes that keep happening.
Keep up, and I live in a generation that's making all these changes.
Right. And I'm an old fart that doesn't, and I'm really having a hard time keeping up. So anyway, but trying to be respectful of all the differences.
You've got that one other thing you're doing for me, right?
Oh yeah, this table. I had an 4 foot by 10 foot pallet. Had military equipment, and I took it home with me because they weren't using it at work. Cut it, made a big table in here out of this pallet with a wood top, but it's got a railing inside, and I put felt, like a velvet type felt inside. And so it's our podcasting table, but we can take the lid off, and it's our gaming table as well.
For D&D.
So I had another piece that's a little bit smaller than this one, and I'm making the same thing for him to take with him when he moves in, so it can be there. dining room table / gaming table. So that's what I'm doing. It's on the other side of this wall out in the driveway because I didn't have any room in the garage to do it anymore.
Because eventually me and Nikki are going to have our own D&D group. I love being a DM.
Yeah, speaking of D&D, I'm just sitting waiting in the wings, waiting for my new group to start. My monk's ready to go, man. Just ready to get started.
What's his name again? You don't remember the name?
Dayton Shade Hollow.
That's boring and cliche. Shade Hollow, really? What did you put?
Shade. Listen, because he's a wood elf, so it's always something like Hay, Hollow, or Glen, or Glade kind of in their name. And you saw his backstory that I created, and so he hears voices, and it's the ghosts of the people that died at his hands that he couldn't save. And another word for ghosts is Shade Hollow. See? It fits to the story. So
I just there's one of
whatever, man.
When I think monk, I think Asian stuff, you know. So I would have tried to make it some kind of Asian-y way,
but it doesn't have because he's a wood elf. How many
what?
Asian wood elves do you know? I'm just playing, Connor. I'm just playing. Wood elves aren't a thing.
I know
they're not real. So whatever. So they can be whatever you want them to be, right?
But Christmas elves are still a thing, right?
Well, of course, Christmas elves are a real thing.
Okay, good.
Because Santa still exists. And
oh yeah, right. He does. Oh man, you'll be worried there for a second. Oh man. I did not want to be on his naughty list this year.
I'm just gonna let all that stuff go. Okay, so that's
for
really
the record. For the record, I don't still believe in that stuff. Yeah. I was just going for the bit.
I think they probably figured out that you were joking.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the movie that we watched, which was kind of interesting.
Kind of interesting. It's definitely.
I'll
not
be interested
in my
to
top
see.
Tens.
We watched an anime movie because we review a random movie. And so I'm not an anime fan. Never really been an anime fan. He's a huge anime fan.
Biggest.
And so we rolled and got an anime movie last
figuratively.
time. So had a lot of trepidation. Oh, there's that word again. Had a lot of trepidation about this movie just because. Excuse me, I'm not a huge anime fan.
Trepidation. I gotta look that word up later.
But we'll talk more about what my thoughts were about the movie. So we got the movie and we got our geek question. So which one do you want to do first? We kind of just mix it up, so it doesn't matter to me.
We've always done the geek question first, and do the movie stuff at the very end.
Whatever, go for it then. So we're doing the geek question first.
Yep.
All right. So you are in charge of the geek question, although I came up with it this time.
Yes, this time.
Actually, I didn't come up with it. I got it from Geek Questioner on Twitter, their account. It was one of theirs.
Lazy son of a gun.
Because I'm not creative. I have a hard time coming up with these kind of questions.
I know, Dad. I know.
So shut it.
All right.
Just go.
Okay. So our geek question is what stories have you read or watched the most growing up through your life so far?
Which stories have you read or watched 10 times or more, and why?
Okay.
10 times or more.
Well, let's see. Stories.
Mine's easy. Mine's super easy.
Stories that I've watched.
It could be either or both. For me, it's both. It's combined.
Let me finish, boy.
So you don't like it when somebody interrupts you? Wow, that's good to know.
When I do it, it's funny. When I do it, it's funny.
So rudeness is funny when it comes from a young guy.
Yes, it is.
But it's just old and cranky and rude when it comes from an old guy.
Absolutely true. Yes.
That
100%.
Tracks. Okay.
Anyway, okay. So let's see. If it's a TV show, it's The Office. I grew up with that show. We watched that show as a family. It was our show.
God, how many times have we watched that entire series?
At least 10 per person in the family.
I mean, it's like, because there was another question that I almost picked, and it's like, what is the one show that you can put on just as background noise all the time?
The Office.
And it's The Office for us.
Yeah,
I mean, it can just be
that's for us.
So, we'll just put on some. When we can't find something that we want to watch on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, we go, I just put The Office on, and we just watch. We'll pick up where we left off. So we've watched on Netflix. We've watched it a good 10 times, right? At least.
At least.
And then of course we watched it syndicated. Before that, we watched it. When it was live, we did.
Oh yeah.
So.
And we did too.
So okay. So why?
Because. Well, for one, Steve Carell is always going to be funny. I love that dude. Let's see. Rainn Wilson. Still think he's got a stupid name, but I love the actor. I mean, who names their kid Rainn of all things?
It could very well be a stage name. A lot of actors change their names when they become actors.
True.
So
true. Although, who am I kidding? One of my daughters is going to be named Willow.
Dwillow?
No, Willow.
You said named. You said named names, Willow, but it said named Willow. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, well, yes.
Why do you have Marcus Phoenix in front of you?
Marcus Felix?
Phoenix, I said. It's not Felix. It's Phoenix, isn't it?
It's Felix.
Where's this box?
It's right here. Dang it, you're right.
He's questioning me on Gears of War.
You haven't played that game in almost 10 years.
Have you played any of them?
Yes.
How many have you played?
Let's see. 2, 3, and the one of the side games.
I played all of them, I think.
You have not played all of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. Not all of 4, but I don't think I played Judgment or whatever it was. Anyway, so Phoenix. I'm just glad it was Marcus and not one of the other ones. So I know this is riveting audio for the podcast people.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Woo. Anyway, let's see. And then honestly, The Office has just been it's also been wildly entertaining to me. And every single time I'll go through and watch it, I notice something new, a reference, a joke, a side piece of audio,
Give me an example.
Let's see. Let's see. An example. One in season 4 during the fun run.
See, okay. I can't remember seasons. I just remember the shows, but I can't remember what seasons they were in.
Season 4 of the fun run.
I remember the fun run. Yeah. For a cure.
Yeah.
For rabies.
When I first watched through it, he mentioned Forrest Gump. I'm like, Forrest Gump. And I had no idea at the time who Forrest Gump was, so I didn't know what that meant. So, but then about a year later, I finally watched the movie Forrest Gump, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's the reference, that's the joke, okay. And then later in season 5 when Michael is starting his own paper business, and starting out in his condo, he's doing a kind of fitness routine in there, in his condo, and he's saying, I feel weaker than I was yesterday. I'm like Benjamin Button in reverse, and I'm like, okay, who the heck is Benjamin Button? And
yeah. Never saw that movie. I mean, I know what it is, but I just never got it. It's one of those movies that I'm like, nah, not really. No, not interested.
Yeah.
So,
but
okay, so that's The Office. So you're going to do one of each then, huh?
I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
A TV show, a movie, and then a book series.
I'm going to be much more efficient, people.
I know you because.
Oh, stop!
Because
no, don't give mine away. That's not fair.
I'm not giving your.
All right, go ahead.
I was trying to give you a compliment in saying you're a model of efficiency.
Oh, that is so not true. Just happens to be the case in this situation.
Anyway,
I don't think your mom would say that I'm a model of efficiency.
Anyway, a movie that I've seen 10 times or more.
Yeah.
It's either Aladdin or Lion King, the original ones, the original Disney movies, not the remakes.
Now,
I could take or leave.
I
the
would
remakes.
bet that you've seen Toy Story more than you've seen Lion King, and then Aladdin, because when you were little and you wouldn't sleep at all. Ashley, I feel your pain that you're going through right now. That we had Lion King and we had Toy Story on VHS. They didn't have DVDs yet, right? I guess that was your fan.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And so when he couldn't sleep, his mom or I would get up and we would watch one of those movies. And just imagine, I mean, so you guys have seen Lion King, and the beginning, it's really dark, and all of a sudden the sun pops up, and all of a sudden you hear, okay, and so when he was little, I mean, we're talking 2 years old, whatever, and that would come on, he would do this every single time, and so to this day, if we hear that, the entire family does this. It's like a family thing, so
a family quirk. Or just like spouting random movie lines from Incredibles, Atlantis, and Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah. Sat in the dirt, didn't you? I'm gonna say money. So okay. All right. So
where's my super suit? Where is my super suit? Thank you.
So
okay, sorry about that. A llama? Come on.
He's supposed to be dead.
Thank you. It's a family thing. You got to do it.
Yeah. Weird. So
Jinx. Nope. You can't talk now. You can't talk now. Oh man, I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take before you get pissed.
Oh, I'm not going to get pissed. I'm just going to break the rule.
Dang it, that would have been so funny.
Okay, so all right. So
like
TV was The Office. Movie is Lion King. Why Lion King? Let's just pick that one. Why Lion King?
Lion King because it's honestly why Dad said it's a movie that helped me when I could barely even speak. I mean I honestly do have a vague memory of me sitting with you watching that movie. I'm not even kidding,
dude. We probably watched that movie between that one and Toy Story. We probably watched the two of those movies 3 to 5 times a week for 2 years.
So easily over 100 times. Easily over 100.
Easy. So all right. Now book.
Okay, book series. Oh man, it's an even tie between Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, the Aragon series. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and then Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the original 5-book series. He's first written by Rick Riordan. The Inheritance series is the series that stuck with me the most because they're one of the main series that got me in reading in the first place. It was that one and Harry Potter, and then also it's the series that got me inspired to start writing because for those of you who don't know, Rick Riordan managed not Rick Riordan, Christopher Paolini managed to publish the first book, Aragon, before he was even 20 years old. He had it written and he was able to get it published before he was even 20 years old. Mm-hmm. And that was just like, the heck? It was just like an incredible kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that really inspired me to start writing. And then as soon as I found that out, I started working on my own manuscript of the Ronick Chronicles, which admittedly I should have done that. I should have done high school instead of that, but I have seen my error now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, a lot more work than you thought it was going to take.
But especially since it was 400+ page manuscripts, it took me freshman and sophomore and junior and most of my senior year to write.
Yeah. I mean, they take a long time to write, but at the same time, it was your first time ever writing something, and it had those kind of errors a first-time writer would have had. So the talent's there. You just got to exercise that muscle more.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you did get to meet Chris Paolini at Dragon Con. And we got a picture with him.
Yes, and he signed all 4 of my books.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that he did that. That's right. Yep. So,
and then Percy Jackson, that series is just pure fun. I mean, when I first read that series, I honest to God thought I was an actual demigod because I had ADHD. I couldn't sit still. I saw things I couldn't explain sometimes, to the point where I tried to make a sword out of a stick and I tried to go and find monsters. I'm not even joking.
All boys make swords out of sticks and rifles and axes and guns and hey,
do they go?
Thanks, Dennis. That's Dennis. That's botched. Oh, by the way,
that's botched.
I'm wearing your shirt,
dude.
Hey!
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's cool. So,
big fan, dude. Thank you so much.
So anyway, where were we? Yeah, we have so few people that come in. So, anyway, go ahead.
You were saying all boys do that, but then and then I was gonna come in and say, but do all boys go out and try to find Furies or Cyclopses or Hydras, or stuff like that?
Okay, well, look, I mean, I think so, but it's
hippocampuses
for some
for
a nerd boy.
No idea what that is?
For a nerd boy, we look for hippocampus. I mean, hippogriffs and all that.
Do you even know what that is? A hippocampus?
What's that?
Do you even know what a hippocampus actually is?
Connor, I'm a psychologist. I work with people with brains all the time. Of course I know what a hippocampus is.
The hippocampus Greek monster.
A hippogriff?
No.
Okay.
No.
Go look up a hippocampus. It's a part of the brain.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Anyway. That's right. We do always come to your show. And so we would come to your show this year if it happens. So, well, I'll be there. He'll be in Ohio. So, anyway. But... Okay. Anyway, so he knows his mythical creatures.
The hippocampus or hippocamp, also known as a hippocampus, often called a seahorse in English, is a mythological creature shared by Phoenician, Etruscan, Greek, and Roman mythologies.
Okay. I stand corrected. I absolutely stand corrected. So anyway,
you got served.
I got served.
Got served.
Right. So all boys chase monsters as a kid, whether it be a hippocampus or a whatever, or
a Fury,
the Nazis, or cowboys and Indians. I mean, boys have done that throughout history. Just
you know what a Fury is?
The targets change.
You know what a Fury is? You don't?
I know the movie Fury with Brad Pitt.
No, dude.
He's our Greek mythology guy. So
yes,
anyway,
I love Greek mythology.
All right,
Greek, Roman, Norse, and Egyptian, and African actually.
So all right, so your TV show is The Office. Your movie is Lion King. And your book is the Inheritance series.
Yes.
Okay. And with honorable mention to
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I love all this stuff. I mean.
Can you make a decision? Pick one. Apparently not.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it my turn now?
An overall one.
Just one.
Overall one. I'm trying. I love them all so much. They're all so awesome.
Moving on.
Oh, yes, moving on.
All right.
Okay,
so
now
do I get
yours?
the answer? Okay. Well, mine is super easy. I mean, and it started with the books, and it's continued with the movies, and it will always continue with both. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the books the other day, and I'm like, I got to start reading those again. But the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
By far,
those are
bar
awesome.
none. That's what got me interested.
Sadly, I've never actually read the books. I've only watched the movies.
I failed my child.
You never offered.
You
never offered the book.
I offered multiple times, and you're like, no, it takes too long. He takes 3 pages to describe a tree. And I'm like, yeah, that's why it makes it so good, because it's so clear. The imagery is so clear. No, it's too boring. It's too slow. So don't give me that whole, I never offered. I begged you to read it because I wanted somebody else in the family to share in it with me. But
to be fair, at that time, I was also still very scared of Gollum.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I'm growing up when the movies first started coming out and I first saw Gollum, I was terrified, literally so terrified. At night I would tuck myself in and basically keep all edges of the blanket covered with my body so the Gollum couldn't sneak up in and scream in my face.
So anyway, I mean, Lord of the Rings trilogy, I mean, it started, I read The Hobbit, but, and The Hobbit kind of got it all started, but I read the Lord of the Rings trilogy kind of right around the same time or right before we started getting into D&D, my buddies and I in high school. And actually I read it.
This was long ago.
Huh?
This was long ago.
This was long. Yeah, good grief, long ago. And just fell in love with it. I mean, if you think about it, Tolkien
is the father of the fantasy genre.
He's kind of the father of the modern fantasy genre.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything else, Paolini, all that stuff has come from there.
Yeah.
It's been influenced by that. And so, too much beer. Anyway.
You can never have too much beer.
You don't even drink beer. Don't give me that line. So, I just fell in love with that. I fell in love with the idea of magic and swords and all of that. And I would read the books. I would read the entire trilogy at least once every 2 years, if not once a year, just because I loved them so much. And got away from it. Hadn't read them. And damn fan, dude, put it somewhere. Quit kicking it over. So anyway, I got away from it and hadn't read it for a long time. And then I heard that Peter Jackson was making the movies, and I'm like, this is gonna be fantastic. And that he
Percy Jackson?
No, not Percy Jackson. Peter Jackson. You had me second guess myself there for a minute. So I'm old.
That's my job.
My hippocampus was not working well. All right. So,
oh my God.
So anyway, I said, okay, I've got to get back in these. And I got to read these again. And I had the trilogy. I had the 3 books, but then I found this red special edition leather bound with the tree on the binding. And it's all 3 books in one big book in a case, and you open it up, and it's got the entire map of Middle Earth that folds out, to look at.
I would love to take that with me.
And I read it all before the movie started, and then the movies were fantastic because he really followed the books really closely. And if you watch like the extended editions of the movies on Blu-ray, it's even closer. The only thing that I can really think of that he didn't really include, a big section, was Tom Bombadil in The Fellowship of the Ring. That was an entire chapter. And to this day...
Tom Bombadil?
Exactly.
So
to this day,
tell me.
I'm going to tell you, to this day, I still don't really get the point of Tom Bombadil. I have not... So the 4 hobbits, they leave, the Shire, and they're heading to Weathertop. They're trying to get to the Bannered Mare. No, that's in Whiterun. Sorry. I've played too much Skyrim lately. So that's another thing I've been doing lately, but I forgot to talk about that. So they the Prancing Pony. Sorry, the Prancing Pony. They're trying to get there to meet Gandalf there, and they got caught up. There's an entire chapter where they got caught up in this place with this guy called Tom Bombadil that supposedly kind of had lived forever and spoke in lyrics and rhymes for constantly. So this chapter's plopped into the book in the Fellowship of the Ring, and you're like, okay, so there's this Tom Bombadil guy. That was kind of weird. And then they leave, and you're like, okay, well, he's probably going to play a role later in the story. You never hear from him again, ever, in any of the 3 books. That's it. He's in for a chapter, and they make it this big deal, and all of a sudden, he's just gone. So the fact that Peter left him out of the movies, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But other than that, I mean, I got your grandmother to go watch them with me because she knew how much I loved them, and we were down. They came out every year each movie came out every year at Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So the first one that came out. So the entire Gears of War horde cannot kill Marcus Phoenix, and you just ripped his head off. Son of a gun. I'm glad that wasn't my pop. That pissed me off. So hey, you know what? That's I guess that's what would happen if you used his chainsaw rifle. It just chopped it off anyway. So I had that memory.
I can fix you.
I had that memory that because we would come down every other year for Christmas, and so the first and the third movie I got to go watch in the theater with my mother, and she didn't know anything about the stories, but she wanted to experience them because she knew how much I love them, how much they meant to me, and she fell in love with them. And so I gave her my original trilogy of books when I got that new collector set. So I still to this day watch them frequently. Now, you guys used to go to Oklahoma every summer, when you guys were little, because that's where your mom's family lives, and so they would go and spend almost the whole summer in Oklahoma. So I'd be here at home by myself, kind of batching it for the whole summer, and so every summer while they were gone,
batching it like
Bachelor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say batching. What the heck is batching?
So every summer when you guys were gone, I would pick a weekend. I'd pick a Saturday, and I would get up early because I had the extended edition of all three movies on Blu-ray, and I'd get up, and I would start at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and I would watch all three movies back to back. That's about 12 hours of movie, almost.
Yeah.
So I would watch all three movies and not leave the couch.
4 hours apiece? They're almost 4 hours apiece?
Well, all of them are over 2, one's over 3, and one's almost 3. So 10 or 11.
How many movies are there?
3. So it comes out to almost 10 hours.
Okay.
So anyway, so I would sit on my couch for literally the entire day and do nothing but call for pizza on my phone. And that's all I would do. And that was like the highlight of my summer every summer for years. So
me and Luke used to do the exact same thing growing up, but with the Star Wars movies.
Right. But the reason why I got into it because I loved the swords and the sorcery and all that stuff. I mean, most of our original D&D characters, they were all Lord of the Rings names. I mean, my level 32 or 35 cleric that I have that has an army of vampires and liches that's sitting in the attic somewhere, his name is Elrond.
Elrond.
So, anyway, and one of my friends, his first thief character was Shadowfax, which is Gandalf's horse. But anyway,
that's actually pretty cool.
But as I got older, as I got older and I started reading them again, I started seeing, because faith is something that's really important to our family, and I started seeing and understanding who Tolkien was and what his faith was. That was a lot. There's a lot of allegory in there of the meek shall inherit the earth, and that first shall be last and last shall be first, and a lot of biblical gospel kind of messages in there, and that gave it a whole other level of meaning to me. So that's why those mean so much to me, and whether it's the book or the movie, I'll hit them at least once a year. So that's mine. That's what I will do easy over 10 times in my life.
I'm just glad you're not one of those diehard fans who knows how to write and speak in fluent Tolkien Elvish,
No, I'm just because I'm too scatterbrained to focus on learning to do that. But anyway, so that's my answer to the geek question. So is that good?
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
All right, cool. So what's time for it now? What do we got now? It's the movie, right?
Yeah, just the movie.
All right, so it's time for the next installment of Roll for Credits.
Yep, Roll for Credits.
Yeah.
You finally said it right.
Huh?
You finally said it right.
Rolling for something. So anyway,
I will.
Listen,
Marcus head at you.
The movie we watched, the movie that we rolled for was
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon Resleeved. Okay, not Altered Carbon the series that's on Netflix, but it's a Netflix original from this year. and it's anime. So it's an anime movie from the Altered Carbon universe, and I'm not an anime fan. He is, like we said,
like giant,
but
anime fan. Literally,
this one
and
was a little bit
figuratively.
different, and maybe I'm basing some of my preconceived notions based on stereotypes. But I'll get into my thoughts in a minute. But basically, the storyline is that, and I'll just read you the tagline from IMDb. It says, on the planet Latimer, reawakened Takeshi Kovacs must protect a teenage tattooist named Holly while investigating the death of a Yakuza boss alongside Gina, a strangely familiar, no-nonsense SeaTac agent. Now, I know a little bit about the backstory of the Altered Carbon universe because I started watching it on Netflix. I didn't finish it. It's an intriguing concept, and I really like the concept of it.
Yeah,
but
which is what?
The concept of the Altered Carbon universe is that people's consciousness are downloaded basically into these things called cognitive stacks, or stacks for short, that are installed at the base of their brain. And so all their consciousness is in that stack. Okay, and the body is just basically a shell. So when the body dies, the stack can be removed and put into a new body, and the person continues to live in just a new body. So they just start to call bodies, your physical body, a sleeve.
Yeah.
For your conscious. And true death only happens if your stack is destroyed. So think about that. If you can basically live forever, and it doesn't matter what happens, how much you want to abuse your body through the things that you want to do, doesn't matter, because you're going to live through your stack into another body. Imagine the level of decadence that can happen in society if there's no need
real consequence.
If there's no consequence for your behavior, and there's no need to try to preserve your body in any way.
I mean, but then, it brings a question to my mind. If people can basically now live on forever, and people can just keep on living and living and living. Yeah. How do we deal with the overpopulation status? Because people still keep making people, you know.
But I don't know. And again, because I didn't finish Altered Carbon, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I don't remember if people still are having babies, or if they're just bodies are made. I don't know. I don't remember. But
well, I mean, if bodies are still made, then somehow stacks are a finite resource, you know. They're not infinite. A consciousness has to be created on its own to then be put into a stack.
Right, but now I think they're far, and you may be right, but now they're far enough in that world that people are just getting recycled into new bodies. So I don't know, but I mean, it's an intriguing concept. What would society look like if there was no consequence to your life, and you could do whatever you want to do?
Bars, drugs, and hookers everywhere.
Pretty much. And death and killing, it doesn't really matter, because as long as they didn't destroy your stack, you're good. Yeah. And so that's why I didn't finish. Now I heard Altered Carbon. That's hard for me to say. Altered Carbon season 2. I heard it wasn't that great. But I didn't even finish season 1, even though I really wanted to, because
there was so much decadence.
Well, and there was, but I thought that they could have portrayed all that decadence without being so graphic with all the decadence, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And so I just, in good conscience, I couldn't continue watching, even though I wanted to. Now, this movie, since it's anime, we could watch it.
Yes.
There was scantily clad people,
but never full on nude.
But there were, and because we try to be a family friendly kind of podcast, we try to avoid that kind of stuff. So there was a couple of flashes of like holograms at the very beginning, and that was it. It was a brief flash, but other than that, there were scantily clad people, and you saw the typical anime naked guy where you didn't show anything except his butt. So other than that,
abs,
that was it.
Butt, that's it. Pecs.
So the storyline, I guess, generally the storyline is there's the Yakuza, there's these different Yakuza families,
and I believe it's the Motosuke and Tanasera.
I don't know. Anyway, he tries to do the Japanese stuff. I don't.
It's
It's two
habit.
different
It's
families,
literally habit.
and this one clan, they have a tradition where
Montezuki.
the what?
The Montezuki clan has,
What?
has,
Yeah,
has
those
this
guys.
ritual.
One name. That the leader that they get tattoos, and so the leader and then has a
But-
successor.
But they're special tattoos.
Getting to that,
Yeah.
the leader has a huge body tattoo, and then whoever's going to be his successor will get the matching tattoo.
Exact
and
same tattoo.
And it's a huge body tattoo, but the end of it is like a dragon coming up with a sphere at the base of the neck, which is right where the stack is. And the tattoo is lined with some kind of special something that can basically destroy the stack. And so what happens is the leader will eventually give over control to the second command, who's going to take over, and then he'll die. I mean, he'll allow himself to have a true death. His stack will be destroyed, and he moves on. And all of his men that followed him will do the same, so that there's no mixing of loyalties. And then the new guy has his whole new crew, and so it's like a completely revamping and rewashing of the Yakuza clan every single time somebody takes over.
To keep a crime family free of corruption.
Right, and
How does that make sense?
yeah, really. And so Holly's the tattoo artist. She's like a little girl, but she's the tattoo artist, and she's the one that does the tattoos. And she has a special power in her hand where she's the one that kind of activate the tattoo somehow.
That's passed down to her, I believe.
Right. So, but she's always trying to escape because she doesn't want to be there. And Takeshi Kovacs, who is the main character in the TV show, is in the show, and he is re-sleeved and brought on to be her bodyguard by some other guy from some other Yakuza clan.
Tanaseda.
And
Hideki Tamaseda.
the whole and supposedly there's some kind of plot to kill the Motozuki clan leader
Montezuki.
by the second in command, which doesn't make any sense because he's going to be taking power anyway, right? But he's trying to kill him. And Holly's trying to get away, and Kovacs is trying to protect her as her bodyguard. Gina is the CTEC agent who is also involved, so they're trying to protect her. So
What does CTEC stand for? Do you remember?
I don't actually remember, to be honest with you. I mean, we can look it up, but I don't remember. But it's like a police organization that is not getting defunded. That's another story. So,
Do we want to tell them the twist or no?
it doesn't matter. I mean, it's only an hour and 14 minutes long. People can watch it like a TV show. So,
A Netflix TV show.
yeah. So anyway, so that's the whole premise. Now, and then of course at the end there is bad stuff that happens. There's been a lie the whole time with this clan.
Death, gore, blood.
Oh, there's lots of death and gore. I mean, there's like
this one dude cuts a guy full on in half.
Yep.
Like from head to groin, full on
And it
in
just-
half. Splits
So-
down the middle. It's gore-tastic.
Yeah, it's really now.
That's
So
the one thing I
anyway,
love about anime, they do not hold back.
the
when it
story
comes to
the
blood and gore.
storyline is pretty much they're protecting this little girl. The leader of the Yakuza clan actually is a really bad guy, and he's doing something. And, he's lying to everybody this whole time, and there's more power and deception going on. They all figured out, whatever. Okay, but there's a lot of good action in the movie,
Yeah.
and if you like Altered Carbon, I've heard, because I've seen reviews of this movie by people who are fans of Altered Carbon, they didn't really like the movie because they say it didn't really hold true to Kovacs' character from the TV show. I don't know because I didn't watch all of Altered Carbon, but I enjoyed it generally. I mean, it wasn't something that I would seek out to watch, but I wasn't tortured by watching anime like I thought I would be. Like the last anime movie that we watched.
Giant sperm snakes.
Giant sperm snakes. Go look it up, man. Anyway. So
One of the Bleach movies.
It was one of the Bleach movies.
I don't remember which one, but I know.
So anyway, what's up, guys?
What's up? What is it?
I think that's
Imaginary
I
Nomad.
think that's Phil.
Who's Phil?
I think Phil is Imaginary Nomad. I think.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not sure. I know it's one of the bots, guys.
Another bots.
Sorry.
We're getting popular with bots. Oh my god.
I know. I had a
fanboying
nice shirt.
so hard.
Right. Oh, over here.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Fanboying so hard. Nice.
So anyway, look, if you want to just look up the premise of the show, I mean, you can look up the premise of the show. But in terms
show
of
or the
what
movie?
The movie, I mean. If you want to talk about what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay, you start because I'll have a completely different perspective on the whole thing.
So for me, I love anime. I love all kinds of anime. And some anime I've seen have this odd 3D animated style to it, and I don't like that. I don't like the way it looks because it doesn't look natural as to what other anime looks like. I mean, there's something about how they animate it. Every single time someone grabs something or makes a hand gesture, it doesn't look like it's animated smoothly, you know?
Right.
It's so weird. And then also, since Dad is such a layman to anime, he had to watch it with subtitles on, and then also watch it in dubbed in the dubbed actors' voices.
Well, I'll talk about my side. You just talk about what you think. I'll talk about mine.
No, it's just, and for me, I couldn't really enjoy it because the subtitles didn't match at all what the dubbed actors were saying, and
but that's something I thought was fascinating. But I'll get to that.
That's a big eye twitch with me because I love watching it in subtitles.
You're such a purist.
Yes, I am.
So
I'll always be a purist.
So my thing is okay. So what did you think about the movie?
Okay,
John Size Team Up Media.
Let's see.
Thanks, guys.
Let's see. The movie itself. It was a very interesting concept with the whole basically everyone is immortal little type deal except for this one weakness. I found that very interesting, very good concept that I want to know more of. The story was the most cliched anime style I've ever friggin' seen.
Yeah, I mean it was a pretty cliched movie. I mean I don't know a lot about anime, but I mean it was pretty cliched.
And I did not like it. I watched it because it was interesting. The only thing I liked about the movie was the Oni ninjas and all the gore they created.
They were really cool.
I mean, they were these like enhanced combat people in friggin' red Oni masks and just full on eviscerating people like it was their job. Ironically, it was their job, and just. I love how anime always animates the most amazing death scenes. Every single death is unique. People getting cut in half. People getting heads decapitated. Bombs stuck in eye sockets. All that stuff. And everything is always so unique about anime.
They pretty much were all getting just sliced in half. Different directions, but they're all being sliced in half. That's pretty generic.
Sliced and diced. Let's see. The twist was obviously very easy to see coming. If you watch the show, if you watch the movie, and you follow along with it, and you find out the subtle hints as they go along, you're like, yeah, this person actually hasn't been doing what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I mean,
it was very easy to predict.
Yeah, so. Okay, yeah, I mean, there was a twist, but I don't know that we really want to talk about it, but I don't know that anybody's going to really probably watch this movie anyway. It's kind of an obscure anime anyway, and it's kind of anime for not anime fans.
Exactly.
That's the way I saw it. So,
but I will say it did all the makings of a classic anime.
Yeah.
A stoic main character. Who's slightly overpowered,
right?
A totally backwards evil character, a small blonde girl.
What is it with the Japanese and young blonde girls, schoolgirls basically? That's there's something weird about that. I'm sorry, there's just something weird about that.
They want what they can't have, so they create it.
Legally, none of us should be, because we're all adults, and they're not.
Okay. Anyway, and then there's a clear love interest, but the love interest is shown to be not as
it's
what
familial. It's not romantic. So anyway, okay. So
secret brother and sister, yay!
Here's my thoughts about the movie. Okay, in taking some notes as I was watching the movie. One, I liked the 3D animated style. It's not your traditional 2D anime style. The look of it, the actual character models had that anime style with the big eyes and this kind of stuff, but it was a 3D modeling. Okay, almost like rotoscoping, 3D animation. Almost like cutscenes you would see in
video games.
More so like the Japanese video games, or like the fighting games, or any of those kind of things that kind of originate from there. But I like that kind of animation style. I really like that style. And so I think for true fans of Altered Carbon, they're not going to like it because it doesn't really stay true to the character of Kovac from the Netflix show. It kind of departs from that. He's not portrayed as well. It's kind of a continuation of that universe. It's another storyline in that universe, not really a continuation of the story from the show. And then I think for anime fans, true anime fans, they're not going to like it because it's not really like a true anime style. It's got anime storyline, anime kind of characters,
anime hairstyles,
and the hairstyles. But other than that, from the little bit of anime that I watch and the little anime stuff I've watched with him, it didn't really seem to fit there. So I feel like it's one of those kind of movies where fans of both things.
What anime have you watched?
Huh?
What anime have you watched or seen me watch?
As I walk by and avert mine eyes.
Exactly. You
so
avert
anyway,
your eyes.
So I think true fans of Altered Carbon and true fans of anime, neither group is going to really like the movie. However, I think that for people who don't know a lot about the Altered Carbon universe or don't watch a lot of anime, I think it's a good gateway movie to pique their interest in both things. It's like, oh, well, this... And this is why I say that, because one of the things I don't like about anime is that a lot of times the storylines are just really weird. I mean, when you have giant naked babies trashing towns and stuff, I don't...
Where have you seen that? What are you talking about?
Whatever show, Clash of the... I don't know, some kind of Titans maybe. Anyway.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, whatever. So...
They're not babies.
They look like babies.
They're mutants.
They look like babies. They look like giant naked babies trashing places. So, the storylines that I've seen...
Babies with full heads of hair and full-grown teeth? And beards? They're not babies. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. So, the anime that I have seen over the years, a lot of the storylines are really kind of sexy giant babies. There you go.
Okay, there we go.
They're just the storylines are just kind of weird for me. I mean, even with the Bleach movie that we watched, it was just, sperm snakes. I mean, come on, But this one was more of a traditional sci-fi type thing, in the context of the Yakuza. So I could follow it a little bit better. And so that made it a little bit more intriguing for me. And I think for people that aren't big anime fans, it's like, okay, well, anime's not quite so bad. I can kind of get into this. And people who are not...
It depends on what anime you start with.
Right. I agree with that. I would agree with that. So I think that's the issue. I think it's a good gateway movie for either audience. But I don't think fans of either audience are going to like this movie. Does that make sense?
I guess. I mean,
it's kind of like weed's the gateway drug. It's like this is kind of like a good
gateway drug. I don't like hearing that. It's not a gateway drug.
Well, not anymore. It's legal. So
that is true. Anyway,
so in that respect,
a good starting anime, in my opinion, is honestly, if you want something, that's very grabbing but very short, I would say either Fullmetal Alchemist or something new called Fire Force.
I haven't heard of Fire, and I've heard of Full Metal Alchemist. As a matter of fact, your cousin Jason, one year for Christmas, I got him like a box set of that stuff because that's what he wanted for Christmas. But I've never really watched it closely. But
Fire Force is this awesome new anime.
Yeah.
And basically it's this world where the fire department it fights actual people who somehow spontaneously combust and turn it into basically fire demons.
See what I mean? You see what I mean about anime? A fire department that fights people that catch on fire and turn into fire demons. What? What? No,
it's called Fire Force.
Screw it. Anyway, so Fire Force, my ass. So
and
Fire Farce maybe, but
the main character has fire controlling powers out of his feet. Jet feet.
My point has just been made. You just made my point about anime. So anyway, so in the end, I think it's a good movie as a gateway to someone who might want to learn more about anime, and a gateway for someone who might want to learn more about the Altered Carbon universe with sleeves and stacks and needle casting and all that stuff.
I disagree about the anime side of it. About it being a gateway anime because I can think of no other anime that's animated like that except for Netflix original animes.
Well,
and Netflix original animes are not that good.
Maybe so, but
for the one exception of Seven Deadly Sins.
But you're not. You're coming from a completely different point of view. You're coming from someone who already is an anime fan, not someone who is not. No, and so you need to listen to the non-anime fan.
But that's the thing. If this is supposed to somehow be a gateway to more anime for this hypothetical person, they would think anime is animated and created like that, when in reality it's not. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I see your point, but I guess what I'm saying is it gets them used to the idea of these kind of storylines and this kind of animation. Oh wow, this is 2D. Oh wow, most of it is 2D. Okay, well let me look at that. Anyway,
and then also how a lot of anime is found to have a dubbed partner, when in reality not every single anime actually has a dubbed partner. Several animes I've seen only have the subtitles, and
right.
And if you want to hunt down for dubbed voice acting, it's never as powerful as the original because because sometimes these people can't copy the emotions you hear with these voices.
Yeah, I'll just say this last thing, and then we'll move on, and because we're running long. But I will say one of the things that I thought was it bothered him, but I thought was intriguing was when I first started watching it, they were speaking in Japanese, and I had the English subtitles on at the bottom, and then I realized that I could switch it to an English audio dub, which I needed. And then what I realized is the subtitles were based on the Japanese translation, but then the English was dubbed. It was like a translation just into the English language, and so what they were saying in the English language was not exactly what the subtitle said, but you could see that it was a situation where it's just a difference in cultural interpretation of a word. Yeah. It was an interesting study in language for me. That's what I was getting out of it, but it was for an anime fan. It's like, hey, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. Stop.
Makes my eye twitch.
So anyway, okay, look, that's all we got. We need to. All right, Twitchy boy. We need to pick our next movie.
All right.
And then we need to get out of here because it's hot in this hippie bippy.
It's getting hot.
No, we're not going to sing that. No. I'm not going to have my son sing that in a private room with me. No. Just roll the damn dice.
Okay. All right. So
for guys that have never watched, we pick a random movie. We will... we'll literally roll dice for either.
Oh, wait, what did he say?
just facepalm. So we'll roll dice to either pick a movie from Amazon or Netflix, and then we'll roll dice to pick a genre, and then we'll roll dice to actually go into that genre and pick a random movie from that genre to watch and review for the next stream.
All right.
So that's what we're doing now. Go ahead.
So high. 10, 11 and up is Netflix, and 10 or down is Amazon Prime. We should really come up with a middle option to include possibly
if we did Disney, all it is be Star Wars or Disney movies.
That is true. All right. So let's see. So high or low? 19.
So that's what?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
All right. And then we're doing a D10 to determine the genre. We're number 2. All right.
Which is what? Adventure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, adventure, I believe.
Action, adventure, something like that.
All right. And so now I got to find Here we go. And so now a D100, which is just 2D10.
I'm sure that we got botched podcast. I'm sure they know what a D100.
That is true.
For. Okay, come on. Sorry to insult your intelligence, people.
Sorry, guys. All right. So now we've got. Ooh, nice and high, 95.
All right, so I'm going to go into the adventure list on Netflix and see if I can find some. So y'all just hold tight. Okay, looks like the 95th movie in the adventure category is the 1996 movie Dragonheart.
That sounds very interesting, actually.
Well, it was actually made the year you were born.
Oh, wow. So it's old.
It's old. Well, okay.
Old
to you.
Yeah.
I was 96. I was 28.
So yeah, you're old. You're old now.
Older, yeah. So
older.
Anyway, I'd seen it a long time ago. I completely forgot that Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery were in this movie.
Sean Connery?
So
you're kidding me.
I think, it's kind of getting in that time frame where Sean was pretty much, you give me a paycheck, will the check clear? You got it. I'm there. I mean, he did Highlander, which was a great movie, but he was in Highlander. So anyway, this movie is the last dragon, and a disillusioned dragon-slaying knight must cooperate to stop an evil king who has been given partial immortality.
Partial immortality.
That sounds about as tropish and cliche of a fantasy movie, as you can get.
How can you have partial immortality?
He hangs around, but he doesn't do much. He kind of wheels around. I don't know.
It doesn't mean
he just stands on the front of his castle and says, "Get off my lawn." So I don't know, man. But anyway, so that's going to be our movie for next time. Is the 1996 movie Dragonheart with Dennis Quaid. That's a dope dice cup. That's his chalice. That's his chalice. So anyway, that's what we've got, guys.
Believe it or not,
that's what we're going to do for next time. We do this every 2 weeks on Monday night. So if you got nothing else going on and you're really bored, we'll be here in this box. Y'all have a good night. And if you need to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us. I can be reached at Headgamer on Twitter. The podcast is GP Variety Hour on Twitter. Of course, we stream here at Gene Pool Podcast
on Twitch.
I'm Head_Gamer on Twitch, Headgamer on Mixer. Where are you at? You're all over the place too. So
you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Mixer, and TikTok, all under QuillMiester, capital Q, capital M, and that's Meister spelled with an I-E, not E-I. So if you spell it wrong, you spell it
right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, catch us anywhere there. We try to stream some gaming on Friday nights, too. I always stream from 10 to midnight on Friday nights with some of my gaming buddies. And he and I try to do it if he's not working before that.
Yeah.
So thanks for popping in. We really appreciate the follows, guys, and coming in and talking to us. It gives us something to do.
Where can they find the podcast,
really
though, Dad?
Big white space on the right side of the screen. So, what's that?
Where can they find the podcast?
Oh, the podcast. Oh, sorry.
You're getting old,
Gene Pool Variety Hour at podbean.com.
So. And also, guys, you can find us basically anywhere you find podcasts.
Just search for us anywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Anywhere you can search for podcasts. We're there under the Gene Pool Variety Hour. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, and we'll see you guys next time. And just remember,
stay nerdy, my friends.
All right. Bye, guys.
Peace out.
Our dancer over here. There's a lot of jiggling going on. Oh, what happened there? Something happened.
No idea what. Oh, you know you love it, guys. You know you love it. Sexy and I know it.
Bye, guys. We'll see y'all
Peace
later.
out.